So I'm excited to do this video, and this video is not like you guys are going to see it after it's recorded, and I'll explain why I'm excited to do this video and who I have on the channel today. I had just finished doing a live with Jordan on YouTube, Jordan from OA Genius, and we talked about like one of his clients selling $1 million a month. And in the live, I mentioned to him that I have to come off the live soon because I have a call with a company that finances e-commerce. And someone in the live said, is it Payability? And I was happy to say it was not. And I'll make future videos about why I'm happy to say it wasn't Payability. But I have Steven, who's the director of sales at a company. Anyway, before you introduce yourself, and then we could talk about who you are and the company, how I found out about it. But who are you, Steven? Where do you work? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, great, Mark. Thanks. So my name is Steven. I work with Instapay. I'm a director of sales here. I've worked here for several years, and we are just as excited as Mark is to really expand the outreach and tell people about the e-commerce financing program that we have put in place. And the feedback that we've been getting is just really overwhelming on how many people love using us. And so Mark and I, over the last several months, have established a great friendship and relationship. And we said, you know, this is really something that we need to get out and we need everybody to know about.
Right. And I have been in e-commerce for a very long time. And over the past 2 years, those of you guys should know that if you sell on Amazon, the one place, Amazon pays you every 2 weeks. Previous to Instapay, the one place that would pay you early is Payability. Now, Payability charges a lot, and I will do follow-up videos and actually do the mathematics to show you guys how all of it works. But over the past 2 years, I've been literally myself searching for Payability alternative, and I've never found one. And then, as you said, a couple months ago, Jordan mentioned, you know, I spoke to these guys, and he introduced me to you guys. And we got into talking about Instapay and the differences between Instapay and Payability, or the services that you have. When I speak to you and Sharice, someone else at the company. And you guys really have a unique offering, and you are solving a problem for Amazon sellers at the right time. And I want you to explain like how long you all been in it, what you charge, and we'll go through that type of stuff. But just for the guys watching this, should know, I manage a number of Amazon accounts, right? And one of the accounts that we managed, he came to me and like, Mark, I was going to get Payability, but they charge a bit too much. And this was last week, right? Like this is Ty. Like I'm supposed to have a call with Ty today and have him on the channel. So this was a Friday. And he applied on Friday, and I didn't think about it, right? Like, I remember you guys saying, yeah, it happens fast, and I was just like, yeah, everyone says that. Let me wait to see what happens. So Ty applied, I didn't even think about it, and then like Monday, I got an email saying that like he got funding. I was like, what? So he went through the application process, and over the weekend, it went through, and he got it. But anyway, so Instapay has provided a solution. Explain what it is, how long you all been doing it, first of all, and what is the solution? How does it work? How much does it cost, and so on?
Sure. So I think the key points that you mentioned earlier is we realize that there's an opportunity out there, especially for small to medium-sized business users. Mm-hmm. Just to give you a little bit of history with Instapay, we initially got our start in the transportation financing part. We realized that there was a lot of competition out there. So we knew that there was something that we had to do differently to really stand out and be able to provide a better and more unique service than people that we're used to. Mm-hmm. So we surveyed a lot of people, we did our homework, and we got the same consistent answer from everybody that we talked to. They wanted a low, flat rate with no hidden fees, so it's easy to understand. Mm-hmm. And then in addition to that, they wanted a strong support system behind them to where if they had, you know, those issues that arise on a small percentage of times, that they could pick up the phone, know they're going to get an answer, and then also the person that's answering the phone is going to fight for them and support what's in the best interest of the user. So that's where we got our start several years ago. Mm-hmm. We had a great response to everything. we kind of exploded, to be honest. I had so many people saying, my aunt, I told her about you guys. I want to get you signed up. My friend that I grew up with, he's interested. He wants to get onboarded with you guys. And of course, as we all know, word of mouth is the most powerful marketing that you can ever have.
Right, exactly.
We live that every day. So we took that same strategy, and our goal was, when we first started Instapay in the transportation market, was to support the small to medium business owners who were just looking to grow and support their family, and put something in place where they felt like they were getting a fair offer. And then they also knew that they had a friend and partner on the other end of the line.
Right, okay.
So we looked at other opportunities. We said, we've got a great platform here. How else can we help support small businesses? So once again, we went back, we did our homework. We explored a lot of different opportunities. And we were shocked when we came across a statistic when we were looking at the e-commerce platform that Amazon 6 years ago, 90% of their successful sales on their platform were fulfilled directly by Amazon, and only 10% were fulfilled by the individual user.
And that was 6 years ago, right?
That was 6 years ago.
Okay.
We updated it this year. We looked at the trends today and this year, and we expect this to continue. 60% of all Amazon orders are now fulfilled by the individual seller and user.
Right.
Light bulb went off for us.
Wow.
There's an opportunity here for people that need cash flow, that can't afford to wait the 15, 20, sometimes 30 to 60 day cycle that Amazon takes to pay back. And we wanted to invest in those small businesses.
Okay.
So we asked the same questions. What are you guys looking for? What do you want and expect out of a service? We got the same two answers. I want a low flat rate, and I want a solid support system in place. So we went out, we tested it with a few users, and again, got that same response. My friend wants to use you guys. He's been using Payability. She's been using Payability. They're charging way too much. We can't grow here. And so we knew we had a solution in place that was going to help with that.
And okay, so I think what is interesting, Payability has been providing, so those of you guys watching this may know what Payability is. So what happens is, Instapay, it's a similar service, but let me explain from my point of view, right? Over the year, I've been selling on Amazon for about 5 years now. I've been managing multiple Amazon stores for about 3.5 years. Over the years, if you did not have a lot of credit or a lot of cash to invest, it was hard to scale your business because Amazon pays out every 15 or 30 days. And then some of the money even stays on reserve, sometimes as low as 5, as high as like 60% for another 30 days. So a lot of times to grow an Amazon business, if you don't have a lot of money to start up with, there's a ceiling on how much money you can make.
Right.
And then Payability came in and said, hey, we would pay you guys early and we'll charge you, and their fees are all over the place, right? But, and I'm not going to get into that in this video, but they will charge you a certain amount. I can do a video about an hour about those people. Right. But I charge you a certain amount, I pay you early, you keep doing this thing, right? So it worked because, this is what I'm saying. They were the only provider of that service. There was no other company doing this for years. So I cannot speak for Payability, but I suspect that because they had a monopoly on this little, well, what everyone I think would thought was a little space, when it's like hundreds of millions of dollars, I'm sure, like they took advantage of it. Like any other business kind of should, to be as profitable as possible. Now, I don't want to get into like some of the other actions that are not just about profitability, but at least the percentage that they're charging, I could kind of understand, okay, if I'm the only person that found this opportunity, found some people that need money quicker, I will try to make as much as legally possible from those people, and they could kind of still stay afloat. Because when you first sign up for Payability, when you do the math that they give you, it seems like a lot less than you get charged, but it works out to be something more like 4%. And then it's like, you have to request the funds and it's delayed, and they don't, and some of the specifics, they don't fund any of the money on reserve. So when I saw you guys, And so I know I'm kind of like taking the floor and going on about what I think about you guys compared to Payability.
You're excited, I can see it.
But yeah, exactly. So when I got with you guys, and what do you, so it's like there are two things that, in my opinion, completely separate you guys from me as an Amazon seller. One is the fact that you mentioned it like in theory, right? Like a fixed low rate, right? But the fixed low rate is like half what Payability is. First of all, it's like 1.7%, I think it is, of 70%, and it works. So for the Amazon sellers, it's like how much is it exactly? I know the one that I looked at was 1.7% of 70% of your daily like revenue that's delivered. But do you have it? What number is it? And I'll go, does that vary, or is that for everyone? How is that calculated?
So yeah, thanks for asking. That's probably the most common question I get is how do we differ from Payability? So I want to dive into that real quick. So our flat rate is actually 1.77%.
Right.
Payability is anywhere from 2 to 2.5%, depending on what you're selling, your reserve amount, and a few other factors.
Right.
Our advance rate is anywhere from 50 to 70%, depending on your health of your store as well.
Right.
If things don't look great up front, it doesn't mean that we're not going to accept you. We'll just start you off at that lower rate. And then once we get to know each other a little bit more, we'll go up to that 70%. So a lot of the key parts is not only the lower fee that we charge, but it's in the way we charge the fee. So what do I mean about that? Payability will charge a 2% fee based on your gross sales.
Right.
Instapay will only charge a 1.77 fee based on your actual net sales, or what I like to say, successfully shipped orders.
Right.
That's important because we know the average buyer every now and then will kind of rescind on what they purchased the night before. Maybe that they had a glass of wine or whatever, and they don't feel great about the purchase the next morning. So they actually cancel that purchase before it's an official sale.
Right, right.
So Instapay, yeah, we're only interested in charging what are actually successful sales because we don't want you paying for more than what we have to.
Right.
And then on the other side of that, once that back end payment gets made from Amazon, that 30 to 50%, depending on your advance rate, Payability will also charge an additional 2% on the back end. So we came up with the same numbers. We were like, wait a minute, this is more than 4%. You're double dipping on what you're actually providing. So with Instapay, whether it's 500 or 5,000, or I've even seen 50,000 that gets released from Amazon on the back end, you receive that full amount with no additional fee taken out.
Yes, so it makes you guys are actually less than half of what Payability actually charges. Exactly.
So just to put it in simple numbers, for every $100 in successfully shipped orders that is sent out, Instapay's 1.77 fee will only cost you $1.77.
Right.
The rest goes directly in your pocket. Again, no hidden fees, no sign-up fees, monthly minimums, or any other additional fee that you'll ever be charged.
And so that's one of the differences. So there are three that I saw that kind of like came out to me in the type of business that I run, right? So that's one. The fee is a lot less. But if I'm not mistaken, you also fund the reserve, depending on the percentage that you're paying out. So what Payability does not fund the reserve. I don't know, like.
Well, yes and no. So we don't fund the reserve up front.
Right.
But instead of charging a fee on when that reserve is released, like Payability does, it gets released in full. So unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do about the reserve. Amazon's going to put a little something in their pocket just to protect themselves.
Right.
But at least you know and have the peace of mind of when they do release that money, normally in a 2 to 4 week cycle, you're not paying a fee on something that was
okay. Right? And then what is the requirement? So, for example, Ty, who applied to you guys, was approved. He applied to Payability and he was not approved for Payability. What is as an Amazon seller, what are the prerequisites to be approved to get funding from you guys? Is it a specific amount of time that you have to be selling for? Is that you need to have a specific credit score? Because there's some people that are worried about credit. There's some people who are worried about they might have a store that's not, it didn't sell enough or is not selling as long enough to get approved for payability. So what are you guys' requirements to get approved for funding with if you have an Amazon account, Amazon selling store?
Sure. And just to speak on Ty's specific example, I think it was because he didn't have 90 days of proven sales.
Right.
We
Okay.
acknowledge that a lot of people who are going into a new venture who might have put a lot of money up front, they need to have that support on the back end to make sure that what they've already put in place isn't going to burn and crash.
Right, exactly.
So a lot of people that reach out to us, whether you're 30 days or 60 days, there's no really restraint that we look for there. The main thing we're looking for is, are you fulfilling your orders and are you fulfilling them accurately?
Okay.
And for Ty's point, we have a very simple online application form. That's the reason we can turn around and get people approved so quickly.
Right.
It's done directly from our website. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes to collect your initial information. Mainly what we're looking for is your name, your phone number, your email, and just some initial information about your company. And then of course, the most important part, we want you to set up your bank account with us so we can make those payments out to you.
Okay.
So once that is completed, Instapay gets a notification on our end. We get a little ding saying we have somebody that's interested in getting set up with us. We have an account representative that reaches out to you right away. And then there, the last steps are just connecting your Amazon store to our platform. Again, 3 easy, simple steps. We want you to invite us to your store so we can be an active user. We want you to increase the permissions on what we can view so we know what your previous day's shipped orders are and we know how much to properly fund you. And then the last step is going ahead and setting up Instapay's bank account on your seller page. So when Amazon does release those funds in that 15 to 20 day time period, those funds go directly to us and they automatically get forwarded to the users. Again, I want to repeat, no fee taken out on the back end.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, if you want to, I'll put a link in the description of this video. Anyone who wants to apply to get funding, if you think you need, I mean, in my opinion, okay, in my business, we do some drop shipping, we do some FBA, right? And the quicker we have access to funds, is the quicker we could grow our business, right? And the 1.7% you guys offer, pretty much, I would suggest I run a business where we manage multiple stores. So I would suggest all my guys to apply for the service because the percentage is worth it for the money we could make for the additional cash flow that we have. So if any of you guys watching this want to apply, I'll put a link in the description. I could personally say that, like, even if you have payability or if you when you did the math, what you thought would hinder your business, like, I can't really see any reason for you guys not to apply. So I'll put a link in the description. You can click it, you can fill out the application. And if they do that, what's the turnaround? So it takes 5 or 10 minutes, but it takes 2 or 3 days for the process to be finished. How does that, what could the applicants expect for the turnaround time on these applications?
Good question. So we work as quickly as the applicant wants to work. So again, just because we both know Ty, going back to that example, I had him turned around and approved in 2 hours, and we were ready to fund the next business day, which just happened to be Monday.
Yeah, wow.
At the same time, I know that this might not be anybody's main job. Right. And maybe they can only get to the response, 7, 8 o'clock at night. So we do provide a detailed step-by-step process to get you approved. So long story short, we're willing to work at the user's pace. We can do it in an hour or 2 as quick. Or if it takes a few days, just because there's limited time, we can also make that happen as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, sweet. All right. I mean, guys, thanks a lot for I think we've gone through a lot of stuff that I think is valuable for you guys today. Anyone watching this on YouTube, what I will urge you to do, other than like my amazing video and like the video because Steven took his time to come on and talk about this stuff. But also let us know in the comment section if you have any questions, if there's anything that we didn't follow up on or we didn't talk about you guys would want to know. Again, there's a link in the description to Instapay's application. So you guys could go there, fill it out, and hopefully let me know if you want me to have Steven back on the channel, because even though if you guys on YouTube, it would be stupid if you don't want him back. I want him back on the channel because I know that I cover a lot of stuff about Amazon dropshipping, Amazon FBA, and just selling on Amazon in general. And I personally have been looking for an alternative for funding this other than cash, credit, or payability. And I really appreciate that you guys have come up with a solution that would help us small business owners. And like, I know a lot of small business, like a lot of us run $1 million small businesses, right? But cash flow is a huge issue. And when you're selling physical products on a platform like Amazon that moves 200 billion last year, there's a huge opportunity to sell on Amazon, and we need solutions like this. So I really thank you for your time, Steven. Guys, like the video, subscribe to my channel, look in the description for the application for Instapay, and let me know in the comment section anything that myself or Steven can answer about the service. Okay?
And Mark, I'd like to ask for one last favor.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, put in a link to our Trustpilot reviews. It's an independent third-party review system that rates businesses all over the country and all over the world. I want everybody to get a chance to take a look at what our current users think about us. And I think you're going to be very impressed just to see what their feedback is about it.
Okay, I'll definitely do that. So I'll put that in the description as well. I really appreciate your time. But guys, thank you. Again, any question you have, let us know. And we're before Christmas. This can allow you guys to make twice or 3 times the amount of money in fourth quarter than you would if you did not have access to the cash flow you can get from Instapay. So I really encourage you guys to go apply. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye, Mark.